This podcast is brought to you in part by Russell Lands, Coke, Buffalo Wild Wings, Central State Bank, Dr. Thomas Dudney, Sunrise Docks, Bice Motors, the Green Monster Fishing Lights. Now, back to Bubba on the Lake.
B-U-double-B-A on the lake, hey. Wishing I could listen to the show every day, hey. Gotta hear what Bubba and his buddies gotta say on B-U-double-B-A on the lake. In the mellow yellow studio, putting on a show. Betty say, what? She always on the go. We got Hunter Bus sitting at master control. Don't wanna miss a moment, cause Bubba's got the flow. B-U-double-B-A on the lake, hey. Wishing I could listen to the show every day, hey. Gotta hear what Bubba and his buddies gotta say on B-U-double-B-A on the lake, hey. B-U-double-B-A, hey. B-U-double-B-A, hey. B-U-double-B-A, hey. B-U-double-B-A on the lake, hey.
Well, hello again, friends, neighbors, and associates everywhere. I'm your semi-retired, mostly washed-up host, formerly The Rick and Bubba Show, and I want to welcome you to our podcast, Bubba on the Lake, also known as the People's Podcast. We're broadcasting from the Mellow Yellow Studio. Our website is BubbaOnTheLake.com, and our message line is 308-BIG-LAKE, and we've got some of those coming in. We're going to try to share with you in the very near future. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on notifications. We don't want you to miss anything for the show. And also follow us with all of our social media posts, including Instagram, Bubba on the Lake. Well, we've got a lot going on. Special podcast today. I thought I had Robbie on before. I went back and looked, and maybe I didn't. Maybe I imagined that. Robbie McAlpine, better known as Robbie from Roebuck, used to be a caller to the radio show, ended up working with the show and doing a bunch of other things. And we're going to share some of his life accomplishments with you. Robbie was afraid that this podcast would sound like he's bragging. But, you know, I hope it doesn't sound that way, because I was the one dragging it out of him. That he has done so many things, and it is so interesting to hear him talk about all the things he's done and how he got into them and how he got out of them. So we're gonna talk with him. He's scheduled to appear, and he's an old friend, and we're glad to have him here in the Mellow Yellow Studio for sure. So I think you'll enjoy that. We go from his days as a car salesman, radio sales, ad agency, radio station owner, cable systems, trucking company, city councilman, and now motorcycle dealership. And I think we missed a couple of things along the way, now that I think about it. But we'll get back to that a little bit later. We've known Robbie a long time. Funny guy, and always a lot of fun to have on the podcast. So we'll dive into that. I want to thank all the feedback on our last podcast with Body Bags host Joseph Scott Morgan. Always get a lot of great feedback from him, and he has a great podcast. I don't have a whole lot of time to listen to other podcasts producing this one, but I do try to catch his. It's always interesting. Him and Dave Mack, who, again, we've known for a long time, they do a really, really nice job with that, and big news in the future, as we mentioned, for them. So I think you're going to be blown away by that. And anyway, we appreciate all of you being here. We appreciate our sponsors. And I want to remind you, Russell Lands is a big sponsor here on the program, and they sponsor and do so many things around Lake Martin. If you know where Lake Martin is in east central Alabama, not far from Auburn, kind of in between Auburn and Birmingham and Montgomery. And we have a lot of friends that are full-time folks living here at the lake. We have a lot of them that come and go, and they're from all over Alabama, all over Georgia, Florida, Louisiana, Mississippi, And it's always good to see those folks when they come in and hear what's going on in their areas and swap stories and all that kind of stuff. So it's really nice. Matter of fact, we were out to eat tonight, and we carried Robbie out to eat, and we saw a lot of folks and talked to them. And he pointed out, he said, you got a good community here, a lot of friends, a lot of folks, and it's a very, very nice place to live. And Russell Lands makes it possible. And they sponsor so many things, concerts. You'll hear their ads. They have nature trails. They do training. But to find out all of it, you need to go to their website, russelllands.com. They also have a great app you can put on your phone, and it mirrors the website. You can see the very latest things going on and pick and choose what you need to be a part of. So we appreciate them being a sponsor. Be sure to hit russelllands.com, bookmark it, and also support our other sponsors if you have a chance. And if you need their services, great. And if you don't, always let them know. You appreciate them sponsoring the podcast. We'll get back and jump right into it with Robbie McAlpine, also known as Robbie from Roebuck, in just a minute. Thank you for being part of Bubba on the Lake.
1, 2, 3, 4.
We'll be right back. What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
You know one thing I love about Buffalo Wild Wings? You can get wings with any of their 26 sauces and dry rubs for takeout and delivery. That's like bringing an entire B-dubs home with you, which you can't do. I tried. I've knocked down so many walls, only to then be told to halt construction because I'm not zoned to be a sports bar. Kinda just looks like a big pergola or something because of the lack of walls. At least these 26 sauces and dry rubs are available to go. Buffalo Wild Wings. Let's go sports bar.
Illuminate your night fishing adventures with the ultimate in submersible fishing light technology. The Green Monster Fishing Light attracts bait fish and game fish in all water environments. Turn any dock into a vibrant feeding frenzy. Compact, tough, and energy efficient. The Green Monster Fishing Light will provide endless hours of family entertainment and enhanced nighttime visibility for safe docking. No dock, no problem. With our 24-inch portable Green Monster Fishing Light, start landing trophy fish tonight. Visit thegreenmonsterfishinglight.com.
We're back, and we have a man in the Mellow Yellow studio here who is a legend among legends, the one and only. He used to be known as Robbie from Roebuck, Robbie McAlpine. Robbie, how are you?
I'm doing good. How you doing, Bubba?
Man, thank you for coming by.
Man, listen, it was totally worth the 7-hour drive from Montiana. I mean, there's no real way to get here.
There really isn't.
I'm so glad I bought one of those flying cars, that just takes you over everything. But no, it was a beautiful drive.
Well, good. We hope you enjoyed it. Robbie has been a longtime friend. We've worked together. We've worked together on projects. We've had a lot of meals. We've laughed a lot. And Robbie, the story really starts back when we had the Rick and Bubba show back in ancient times now. And you called the show when we were in Gadsden. And you called, you were a regular caller, and you got the name Robbie from Roebuck because you worked down in Roebuck.
Yeah, I was a used car salesman down in Roebuck.
And we did a show on the road one morning where we took the Funmobile out, and you said, come by, pick me up. We did. And we didn't carry you back till late in the afternoon, and that got you fired.
Yeah, I got in a lot of trouble.
That's a true story.
That's a true story. Yeah, so I got in a lot of trouble that day. And of course, I called Rick maybe the next day or whatever, I said, look, guys, you got to give me a job or something, you know?
Yeah.
And you had my way into a position there. But that's how it all started. And it's been a great ride so far.
Yeah, we got you a job working in the sales department at Q104 in Gadsden. And man, you took off. You were a beast.
Well, it helped, having a lot of connections in the car business. And, that was my whole pitch. I remember going in and talking to Rob Rawson and the Hammer, and as he became known, and I was like, look, I know all the car dealerships in Birmingham. We want to take in that market anyway, because we were about to move to Birmingham, the station was. So, I put on like I knew them all very, very well, and it turned out that it did work out really well. So
where the transmitter was, we covered part of North Birmingham pretty solid already, enough to have listeners. And then when they moved the tower, they got more later on, and then eventually moved the station all the way into Birmingham. But so you were a car salesman, then you excelled in radio sales, then you jumped over to an ad agency.
Yeah.
Then you started your own ad agency.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now tell me about that. How is that to people that don't know, that hadn't been in that business? Tell them a little bit about the ad agency business, how that works.
Well, I mean, what I always wanted to do is work my way through sales, right? So, I mean, we're working at the radio station, and then, you get to work with some ad agencies, and ad agencies are, they kind of control all the money, not unless it's a very small, account or a small business. But, I wanted to be that guy that, helped, find solutions and stuff like that for businesses. And anyway, I worked with some ad agencies, one in Birmingham called More and More back in the day. And
Lee Moore.
Yeah, that's right. He's still doing the deal down there, and lives in Destin now. But so anyway,
life's tough for Lee.
Yeah, he's just
we deal with his daughter a lot.
Oh yeah,
too, so.
Amanda, she's great.
Yeah, she is.
But yeah, I mean, he caught me at a Food Giant remote one day. We had just got finished burying Speedy in a Buried Alive promotion, and
which I was against, by the way.
You didn't want to do that?
No, I was scared to death. They got him buried underground. They said, "Oh yeah, we can get you out in so many minutes." Well, but how? What happened? A truck pulled up, loading something into the place, and the exhaust was going right in his thing.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
No, I never knew
he about
that.
Suffocated.
Do you remember the morning that I showed up in a pickup truck with that wooden box for Jim Dunaway and one for Speedy?
Yes.
My brother and I had built that out of plywood and 2x4s the night before,
and it's going to be 6 foot underground.
Yeah,
he's crazy.
Yeah,
I mean, I was against that. I don't want to get somebody killed.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't mind. I mean, make the news, But
you milk that for a week.
Yeah, I get that for a while. But anyway, so Lee hired me out of working at the radio station, and I worked for Lee for 3 or 4 years and worked my way up through that ad agency. And in 2003, July 8th, matter of fact, I started my own company called Alpine Advertising Agency, and we've been around, going on 25 years now, and we represent the automotive industry for the most part.
Well, you know that business.
Yeah, I mean, I've known it, been in it all my life. So
let me jump back just a little bit to when you were working at Q104. Was that a dream job to work in sales at the legendary Q104?
Well, I mean, yeah,
because it was for me to be on the air. To one, be the engineer, and then two, to be on the air was just phenomenal.
Well, my love for Q104 started out with Chris Hubauer. I'm just kidding.
Chris was doing the morning show when Rick came in.
Exactly. Yeah, I listened to Chris, and he actually was married to a person in Aniana, so I knew him from that, and I was really young.
From college.
Yeah,
at 92J.
Yeah. So, and now Chris is our program director at my radio stations that I own. So,
well, we're going to get to that. Robbie also owns radio stations. Robbie, you are the walking American dream.
No, get out of here now. I mean, I know I look like it, 5'7", 240 pounds, but I mean, come on.
But you got a smile on your face. You living large.
Well, I'm trying to get by.
You're a big wheel at ABA, the Alabama Broadcasting Association.
I'm no Lee Perryman.
I'm going to see Lee tomorrow. Lee is something else. He needs his own podcast. That's for sure.
He does.
But you okay? So Q104, because I grew up listening to Q104. That was our top 40 station. Yeah. So it was so legendary. I remember as a kid, teenager, going by there to get a bumper sticker or something and just being in absolute awe of everything.
Yeah.
Couldn't believe that I was on the holy ground of Q104.
It really was an opportunity. Where this all started, I had just got married, and I was working at that car dealership, and I was on a Sunday because that's the only day you get off in the car business in Birmingham. And I was sitting on my front porch, and a buddy of mine was jogging out, exercising through our neighborhood, and came and said, "Man, I love that thing that you do with Rick and Bubba." And I was like, I don't even know what he's talking about. I didn't know I was doing a thing. I thought I was just calling in.
Right.
And they said, "Did they just make up that name, Robbie from Roebuck, or how did y'all come up with it?" And I thought, oh my gosh, I may be onto something here. You know what I mean? And I'll never forget. That's what turned my light on to it, to be honest with you.
Right.
And from that point forward, I was just trying to figure out a way to get in there. And the fact that y'all got me fired was perfect because I had leverage. I was like, look, you got to do something.
Well, and the station had fallen off when we got there. Country music was big. You had QSB in Albertville. You had Alabama 100 in Anniston. And they'd kind of fallen in between the cracks. So there really was nowhere to go but up. Yeah. Compared to the glory days. And man, things started happening. We had all-stars in the sales department. Things started happening on the air. It got to be real fun real quick.
Yeah, it was a good time. It was good. And we did have some all-stars in there. I know when you and you called me about doing the podcast, I was like, well, he must not been able to get Meg Wilson. I mean, I'm a good fill-in for Meg when she's not here.
Well, Meg has been on a couple of times talking about trying to date in your 50s.
Oh, my goodness.
And that's always interesting and tragic. And it's a lot. Now, she brings so much energy. She's a lot of fun, but she was that way in sales, too.
Yeah, she's really
there was so many good salespeople we had, and Ursula running the front desk. You remember, she didn't play no games.
No, Ursula didn't play around.
So she was serious business. But and Robbie, you were on that legendary trip we took to Mexico where we carried a bunch of clients.
Yeah, I just got
Were
back.
you on the boat when we almost died?
Yeah,
out?
You remember I jumped off the boat and
right.
swam to shore.
I thought you were one of us out there trying to survive.
Yeah, I just got sick, and you know me well enough, but the listening audience, I hate throwing up. When I throw up,
I do too.
Listen, I've thrown up probably, I'm not kidding, not exaggerating, probably 5 times in my whole life.
Right.
And every time, it was just like a horrific event. I thought I was dying, literally. And when I throw up, I don't want to gross anybody out, but it's like I scream at the top of my lungs. I mean, if you know anybody that's a screamer when they throw up, that's me. And
I've met some screamers,
but it was, I didn't want to throw up on that boat. So I just, I jumped off. I had some clients on there. I think Julie Smith from Coca-Cola. And I didn't want to throw up in front of them. They might cancel their advertising package. But I jumped off the boat, swam to shore, took a taxi a few miles down the road to where y'all eventually showed up. And I think there was a naked grandmother there that shirt had washed off or something.
Yes. Well, we had the entire sales force. We had, a couple of us from the show were there. And Julie Smith from Coke was sitting next to me, and she was about to get sick. And I remember telling her, Julie, do not throw up because I'll throw up.
Yeah.
Now, I can see surgery being done. I've seen bones being cut. I've seen tendons being pulled out.
Yeah.
I've seen babies born on the business end. That does not affect me at all. I see somebody throwing up, I am going to throw up.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter how close you are. I can even see a dog throwing up on the highway and I get nauseous. Hey, I'm like Vince Vaughn in 4 Christmases. I just can't deal with it. I just cannot deal with it. What is wrong with me?
I don't know, man. I'm the same way. And you just talking about dog throwing. I mean, nothing wake you up in the middle of the night if you hear a dog going. That'll make you get straight up, right?
I know, because you're like, I got a mess to clean up somewhere.
Get the dog.
But Julie's next to me, and I literally had my arm around her, holding her mouth. Because the boat had got out of control. We went out on a snorkeling trip, what it was, and it was sunny when we left. Well, there was a hurricane coming in, and it got there a little quicker than we thought. And I mean, the skies got dark, and they started, on the boat, and all this. And I was kind of watching them to see how they responded to it. And they called us up earlier than we should have got on it, and they started back in. And by then, the waves were getting 4 and 5 foot tall, and the wind was blowing. And I mean, it got bad quick.
Yeah,
and I remember thinking, we're not going to make it. And Robbie, I had my flippers still on from the snorkeling, and I thought I might need them to get to shore. You know what I mean? So my plan was when the boat flipped over, which it looked like it was going to, is just don't let it hit you in the head and knock you out.
Yeah.
And then if I can get into the water, I can make it to shore. Now, the problem with the shore, it was all rocks. There was nowhere to get up. It was like this, dangerous shoreline. They didn't allow swimming there because of the currents. But I thought, if I can get to that shore, I will live. Don't let the boat hit me in the head.
Yeah.
And I remember you jumped off early. I ended up jumping off later.
Yeah.
When we got around, we got so we could see where we left, but we couldn't get in. And we started diving off that thing like dolphins.
I had a very similar memory. Last week I was in the U.S. Virgin Islands for an anniversary.
Yeah.
Leanne,
Congratulations.
That's right. Leanne and
How
I
many?
went down 5 years. So
5 second round. Huh?
second round, 5 years on the second round.
Congratulations.
On the third round, though, let me tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just kidding. Ain't going to be no third round.
We'll just keep trying till you get it right.
Listen, I will. I mean, 7, 8 rounds, whatever it takes. But anyway, we rented a boat like 2 or 3 days in a row. Right. And that, Leanne loves to snorkel and I'm okay. I'm fine with it. You know what I mean?
If the weather's all right, it's nice.
But it got rough out there a time or two. And I told Leanne, I said, hey, what does this remind you of? Because my wife knew of me through that CD of that story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And from the show. And I met her. She,
that was one of the most requested stories for a long time.
Yeah.
Was the Mexico trip.
Yeah, that was, but anyway, she knew me.
That's available, by the way, still out where you get downloads. So
oh, really?
Find that today.
You get a little bump on that? That first year, you talk about these CDs, I was so involved in that. I mean, I don't know who, I can't remember who edited that, but I think about my involvement on that. And everybody who's listening who's, fairly young, won't remember what Blockbuster Video is, but they were my account, and they were a big account back then.
All right.
And I had those carried everywhere at Blockbuster.
Yes.
And
you got us in some really good stores.
Yeah. And I was if somebody's still getting bumped on that, I'd like to get bumped on that if we can get a little.
Well, we signed a deal with 30 Tigers, which was a offshoot of Sony. It was a like a small artist Sony version. Yeah. And we still deal with them today.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I still get a little check every now and then. If you really want to hear the Mexico trip, go and download it.
That's right.
We'll get a few pennies off of it.
That's a good story. If you're going to download one, that's probably the one.
Oh, it was fun. It was fun. But I remember Betty was carrying Hunter at the time, and he's 28 now, I think.
Yeah.
Because you sent me the picture of us at the pool.
Oh, yeah.
Remember?
Yep, I do remember.
And I do remember at the pool one afternoon, and you left a little early, and we all cheered you on as you were leaving. And so, we had a lot of fun back then.
Good
we
times,
really
man. It was young and innocent, and we're just living, man. We're just living.
Just trying to get by. So you go the ad agency business. But like, explain to people how that works. Like, say you have a business. Mm-hmm. When do you hire an ad agency, and what do they do for you?
Well, an ad agency is somebody, it's a group of experts, and, I own my ad agency, but there's a lot of people that work, and I don't know everything, right? So,
different people specialize in different, like you're heavy in the car business.
Right. So, I could probably, we do handle car dealerships all over the eastern part of the United States, but,
how many you handle now?
We've probably got 19 right now. And a lot of those are multi-point stores. So one of them might be a Nissan, one of them might be a Chrysler Jeep Dodge. But 19 groups altogether. And
you do creative and buying?
Yes, we have a production company that does.
Explain that to, like, if somebody's sitting there, they own a business, pitch them why they should have an ad agency.
Well, if you got a $3,000 budget, you probably don't need an ad agency. They start there, But if if you're a company that has, a significant budget.
Like, what would be a minimum budget? What would
for
you tell somebody?
We're a small agency, so somebody our size, around $12,000 to $15,000 a month.
Right.
You know what I mean?
If you're a business, you spend that, then you're in the neighborhood for
an ad agency.
Expertise.
Yeah, because chances are, what you do, you walk into somebody who's never had an ad agency, and what you find out real quick is that they're buying all their friends, right? Well, I got a girlfriend that works at the radio station, and I got a girlfriend that works the cable company, or whatever. You know what I mean? My son-in-law knows Facebook really good. You know what I mean? That type deal. So, and what an ad agency does is, we don't care about feelings. I know that sounds crazy, but we don't buy our friends and buddies in the business. Our only job is to make sure that you go to the next level. So if you don't go to the next level, we don't last long at your business. You end up firing us. So we've got one focus, and that's making sure you hit your numbers and go to the next level. So our company slogan is we make large companies out of small businesses every day. So we've taken a lot of small businesses, and a lot of them have sold publicly and done really well. So, and a lot of them we've had for 23, 24 years ever since we started.
Which that's a testament to what you guys do.
We don't get fired much because we always deliver. as opposed to what I used to do. I used to overpromise and underdeliver. Now I underpromise and overdeliver. But yeah, that's a little bit about, and basically.
So, but you do creative. You come up with their ideas to really push their products and get their message out, and then you actually place the buys in places you think they'll get the most bang for the buck.
Yeah, so we would meet with a client, let's say a car dealership, say their budget's $100,000 a month or something, and we would go over August, September, January, February, and March, whatever quarter we're in. It would go over their campaign ideas, and then we would go over a budget. They're going to be doing truck month in January and February and March, so we need to be heavy on men. We go over demographics and their zip codes and where they, what I mean. And then we take that budget and we put it in a budget format for them to approve, and then we set a date for the TV shoots each month, and then I take that back to the media buyers. The media buyers negotiate with the media outlets,
right? And
that's the biggest part of an ad agency. If you're a small business and you got $10,000-$12,000 a month to spend on advertising, you're negotiating with $10,000-$12,000 a month. But if you work with an ad agency that's negotiating with $500,000 a month, then you're going to get a better buy.
Yeah, and to put that in layman's terms of how it actually operates, and I know I've been involved in some too, where, like you said, if you got $15,000 a month, you're trying to buy $15,000 a month.
Right.
But a lot of times the ad agencies will go in and buy an entire year of TV and spend $500,000 and then place your ads in those slots and get those kind of deals. It's kind of like group purchasing, if you will, through the ad agency.
Yeah, it is. I mean, if we've got a client, in this part of the Birmingham DMA that's paying, $100 a spot, you know what I mean? Whatever the lowest unit rate at the ad agency is what you'll pay.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you get the advantage of that. And, the way our business model works is we don't charge the client anything. It's free. And I'm not trying to do an ad for my company.
I'm asking you. That's why you're here. And people are interested. I get asked about this.
We just have a little margin built in everything we do. You know what I mean? And we do more digital now than anything. I mean, CTV, YouTube TV, all the different streaming services, and that's really effective because I have a pathway into the trade desk where I can choose the zip code I want, the income level that I want, an audience interest. If they're not interested in automobiles, then I'm not going to serve them an ad. You know what I mean? If they hadn't acted on the internet in some way that would make me think they're an intender. So it's got real granular,
So it's like when I sit down with Betty, we did an experiment one time to prove that our phones are listening to us. And we had a conversation with our phones on the table about buying a beagle puppy.
Yeah.
How much we wanted a beagle. The next day, we are covered up with beagle ads on our phone. Covered up. So there is things going on there to target your advertising.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of things going on, and some of it feels a little sketchy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for $800 before I leave, I will not play all the things that I recorded earlier when I was here. No, but I don't know what the law is, but I think your iPhones and your devices in your house can check in, is what they call it, for a couple seconds every hour or whatever the case may be. And it always turns out to be the seconds when you're talking about purchasing something.
Yeah. That's amazing how that happens in it. Yeah. I'm afraid there's a few recordings out there from our house that, needed editing. But anyway, so Robbie McAlpine is our guest. We're talking about ad agencies and the multitude of businesses he's been in. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with him about some more things he's done and what he's doing right now in just a minute. You're listening to Bubba on the Lake.
Where's Bubba?
I'll tell you where. He's on the lake.
On the water or off, experience lake life to the fullest at Russell Lands on Lake Martin. Spend your mornings with breakfast at Fanny's. Afternoons, you can explore over 100 miles of trails through Russell Forest. And for dinner, how about the Southern farm-to-table flavors at Spring House? Whether you're here for the weekend or you've made your home at the lake, Russell Lands is where community and the land come together. To learn more about upcoming events, visit russelllands.com. Come see what lake life is all about.
At Central State Bank, We believe community banking is more than just transactions. It's about relationships. For over 100 years, we've been helping neighbors grow, businesses thrive, and dreams become reality. Because when you bank local, you invest in your community. Central State Bank, large enough to serve you, small enough to know you. Visit us today or learn more at centralstatebank.com. Member FDIC.
Just got that new boat? Let Sunrise Docks protect your investment with Swift Shield boat covers, Neptune boat lifts, and easy ports for your personal watercraft. Plus, they have composite decking that stays cool, designed with your feet in mind. Sunrise Docks is always first in quality, first in service, and first in customer satisfaction. Right off Highway 63, your Lake Martin headquarters, with 2 barges and the most experienced boat lift crew on the lake. Sunrise Docks is your lake life expert. Call 256-392-5200.
We're back, folks, and Robbie McAlpine, the former Robbie from Roebuck, has joined us, and we've been talking about his many business ventures over the year. I mean, Robbie, you are living the American dream. You've done it all.
No, man, I'm just living in Aniana,
But I mean, you're a businessman. You've worked for yourself a large part of your life, which I think is a goal that everybody would want on some level.
Yeah, I started at 29 working for myself, but working for you guys was a great opportunity to learn, and Rob Rawson, and then working for Lee Moore was, awesome as well. So, I mean, you can't just, want to own your own business. You kind of got to go through some stuff. You know what I mean? It's hard lessons.
So out of ad agencies, you went in and you, at one time, owned a whole bunch of cable systems.
Yeah, I got in the turnkey business. So, my ad agency at that time represented some cable companies, and they were needing turnkey operators, which is basically if you have cable television or any kind of television, when it goes to commercial break, there's a DTMF tone that comes down and it inserts commercials.
Right.
And so I got into that business and started buying equipment that listened for DTMF tones, and ended up with, Sallisaw, Oklahoma's cable company, and, way up north. And I even had one in Japan at the Sasebo Air Force Base.
Robbie, you're like Ted Turner or something.
I tried to be, but listen, I rode that for a while. That was a good living for about 15 years.
I bet.
In 2019, I sold those to a company out of Texas, Showcase Media. And that I saw.
Robbie, why didn't you hook a brother up?
I tried, hey, I'm trying to give you 2 radio stations right now.
Well, we got to talk about that. You're a radio station owner.
Yeah.
You've got 3 signals in the Aniana Sand Mountain area.
Yeah.
And then you've got a station in Winfield.
Yeah, WKXM in Winfield, and WCRL, which is a couple FMs and an AM.
If I was a little younger, I'd get that checkbook out and get them from you.
I mean, you might. Hey, Betty's here, so she may just write it for you.
Well, she threatened me.
She's trying to get you out of the house.
My career began with a tragic ownership story, and she says we don't need a bookend on this.
Yeah,
we survived somehow.
Yeah, it can be a nightmare, but
it's a lot of work. People don't realize it's a lot of work.
It is. I mean, it's a lot of work, and it's getting harder and harder. I mean, I know everything's going to streaming, podcasting, things of this nature,
right.
and FM is a thing that is getting tougher and tougher. But the good broadcasters like Lee Perryman that I mentioned earlier, and Paul Alexander, and people like, I mean, they're and
Paul
we're still
and Selma.
Yep, we're just being extremely local. You know what I mean? And high school football, and we cover the baseball games, and we got a great broadcasting crew. Greg Armstrong and Jeremy Hyde and all the other broadcasters.
I met those guys at lunch.
There's a
nice
bunch
guys.
of them. Yeah. And
you do a great job.
And if you just got to be extremely local with FM radio to make it successful, and if you love that sort of stuff, I mean, there's a lot of life left in radio.
Well, I think that's the key. I've talked about it many times. I think radio. I love radio. Grew up with it. It's under attack now more than ever from competition. iPods and iPhones and streaming and Jimmy Jam and all that stuff. But I felt like the radio industry as a whole gave up the high ground when they tried to just go and out playlist everybody, because I got a podcast. I got not a podcast, but I got an iPhone. I make my own playlist if I want to.
Yeah.
And I think, even Rush Limbaugh showed that if you have something people want, they'll listen. Even to AM still today. But you got to offer them something they can't get anywhere else. And I thought when radio tried to automate and do away with personalities, they gave up the high ground. Now, I know they were trying to do it to meet budget requirements, but I think that's where they ought to carry the war and said, look, when I grew up listening to these guys that influenced me, I felt like I knew them. And I had people tell me that all the time about our show. They said, man, you don't know me, but I feel like I know you, and I know Betty and the kids and all this stuff you do. And I felt like that was the key. And you guys, who are the good operators now, have still locked into that, and primarily through local sports, it seems like. Yeah. But I still think that radio can win if they will offer something nobody else offers.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only way they're, music, I always say music's cheap. You know what I mean? I mean, everybody's got it in their pocket. Right. You know what I mean? So, it's going to take that, and
you got to invest a little bit in personalities to do it.
Yeah,
But even like sports, you got to have guys doing it.
When I first bought the radio stations 15 years ago, the first Friday night that I was in business, on the radio station, Friday Night Football, we covered, since 1952, they've been covering the Friday night game of the week. Right. We did that. And then Monday morning, I got a bunch of phone calls. Why didn't you cover this school? Because we have 8 schools in Blount County. Right. Why didn't you cover this one or this one or this one? And I said, I don't know. I mean, I guess somebody just chose that. So, I have a pretty strong IT background, and I just went out and developed 8 streaming apps, one for each high school. Yeah. And now every Friday night, I mean, you go to the WCRL app and you can listen to any of the 8 because I'm paying a broadcast crew for each one of them.
And you're doing those streaming, not necessarily over there.
Yeah, we got one on the main station, and then the other 7 are on the stream. Right. Well, they're actually all on the stream, Right. But yeah, so people just flip back and forth like a channel. They'll listen to Aniana for a little while, Susan Moore, Cleveland, Locust Fork, whoever they want.
Then you have local businesses that want to support that.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're back in business.
Yeah, each one of those communities have
because they're getting it. And they can't get it anywhere else.
That's right. Yeah.
Now, if y'all want the top 40 hits on anything, I can get Ella Langley on, 1,200 outlets.
Yep, that's exactly right.
No offense to her. We love Ella Langley. I'm an Ella fella. I mean, I'd be at the concert.
Did you say Ella fella or Yellow fella? Which one are you?
It's Ella fella. Have you seen the Ella fellas?
No.
Oh, it's us gray-haired, middle-aged guys that all love Ella Langley.
Oh my gosh! She's from Huntsville?
No, she's from Hope Hull. She's just down the road here.
Really?
She's around the lake a lot.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah, you liable to run into her.
Well, let's go out on the boat.
Listen, she it wasn't too long ago at Kalijah Restaurant, which you literally can see out my window. She was on the porch playing.
Really?
One microphone.
Oh.
Just standard guitar out there playing. Probably had 3 or 4 people watching.
That's insane.
Is that crazy?
That
and
is
now,
cool.
If you want to see her here, she's going to be in Auburn. 2 nights at Neville Arena on Auburn University, and tickets are roughly $3,000 a seat.
Wow.
Is that not crazy?
That is crazy.
She has blown up, and good for her.
Yeah, she seems like a good kid,
I'm so happy for her. Anybody that makes it, just good luck.
It's so hard.
Because for every one that did, there's 1,000 that did. And it's tough. You got to be the right place, the right time. Well, speaking of that, and we're talking about your success. You had radio stations, you had cable systems, and then you told me one time you were in the trucking business.
Yeah, during COVID, everything got really quiet. So I just opened up a trucking company, and my intentions were to have 3 or 4 trucks and haul car parts and all these things that everybody was scrambling for. And I did that. I bought 3 box trucks because you didn't have to have a special license for them. And my brother-in-laws, 2 of my brother-in-laws, and my father-in-law drove those for me, and then they started wrecking them. And we. My insurance went from $1,000 a month to about $5,000 a month, and I got out of business.
Thanks.
But we wrecked those trucks all over the country, man.
Was your son in that with you? Didn't you have one of your?
Yeah, my
how many
oldest
sons
son,
you got?
I got 3. I got 3 sons.
Oh, you're very blessed.
And I am. But yeah, he kind of did the back end part of it. Didn't do any of the driving or anything. Right. But as my brother-in-law started falling out of wanting to do it, because my sisters were like, "Hey, he's gone too much. We're retired." They were.
Was he a driver for you?
Colton, or my brother-in-law?
Your brother-in-law.
Yeah, 2 of my brother-in-laws were. Yeah. But my sisters started giving him a hard time about being gone sometimes. And anyway, next thing you know, I'm driving the trucks. And what ended it all was I was over here in Hoover, and there's a Cook's Pest Control corporate office or something like that. That used to be an old gas station or something because it's got a gas station awning. Well, me and one of my sons was helping me that day because I didn't have a driver, and here I am, shooting TV commercials in the morning, driving a box truck in the afternoon, and
because you're still doing all these things we've talked about.
Yeah, exactly. And I pull up under an awning and rip the thing down because it was too short. You know what I mean? And the whole thing fell over on top of the box truck. And anyway, that was the last insurance claim they let me make. And they said, "You're done." And I said, "Okay." Yeah. And I sold 3 box trucks and only lost probably 40, 50 grand that year.
Right.
So, yeah,
well, that helped balance.
Not everything's a winner, Bubba. You can't win at everything.
Listen, I tell people that all the time. I tell people some stories they do not believe about investment I missed out on. I mean, it'll bring tears to your eyes. Okay. Wow. I mean, I probably need to do a podcast on my failures over the years, but it does remind me, and I'm not comparing myself or you to Michael Jordan. Okay. Right. Please understand that. But you've seen the little clip he does about, I think he says I missed 9,000 shots.
Oh, yes, I did.
21 times I took the game-winning shot and missed. And he goes through all of these, how many foul shots he missed, how many games he lost. And he said, but that's what drove me.
Yeah.
And then look at him with all them rings. And he's the GOAT, man, no doubt.
Yeah, you miss every shot you don't take.
That's
you know
right.
What I mean?
You do.
And I love taking the shot. I think that's the drug for me, really and truly. I mean, it's not about like right now. Well, I know we'll talk about the motorcycle company, but this motorcycle dealership I'm opening up. My wife is in the legal field, right? Been up in,
and you need that.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, she's concerned about the amount of money that I'm putting into this motorcycle delership, and I'm like, listen, it'll all work out. It's fine. It always works out.
Yeah, I'm Robbie. I'll make it happen.
Yeah, it'll work out.
Well, before we get to that, let me cross one other big chasm before we get to that. You're in politics.
Yeah, I ran for. That's my second time. I was elected to the school board there in Blount County, probably 10, 15 years ago, and then. In 2020, I ran for city council in Oneonta and for place 5 and won that and ran unopposed about a year ago. Ran unopposed. So
you got the word out. You were running. Nobody wanted to touch you.
Please come on.
That was great strategy, by the way. Get it out there early.
Yeah, I did. I got it out there early. I mean, hey, there's lots of good people that would do as good or better job than me in Oneonta. Oneonta's full of good people.
And I did a little thing for you because I thought you did a good job.
Well, listen,
I talked to some guys up there and they said, they said, believe it or not, this is how they'd say it because I knew. They said, look, believe it or not, Robbie did a pretty good job.
We're going through a growth phase right now, and we've got
it's a beautiful town.
We've got a grocery store groundbreaking on Thursday in Oneonta, and we just had a huge shopping center open up. I mean, things are just really.
I need to rethink that WCRL thing.
You might.
What do you think about this? WCRL, all Bubba, all the time.
I love it. I think that's it. We could put you an ISDN line or whatever they use nowadays. You could do it from right here.
Shoot, man, that's such a beautiful town with the mountains and all. I've always thought that was a beautiful place. We've done a couple of gigs up there. We did.
I know the one you're going to talk about.
Well, we did some band gigs back with the Mr. Lucky thing.
That's right. Yeah.
And but probably the most famous one in my mind was when we opened up for James Gregory. Do you remember that? Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And it was quite an experience because we were there and there was a dinner. It was some fundraiser. It was a private thing. I can't remember who it was for. Somebody will email me, Bubba at BubbaOnTheLake.com, and remind me. But James Gregory was going to do the comedy bit, and I think Rick and I were opening up for him. And we opened up for him several times. We had one at the Von Braun Civic Center that was an absolute scream. We had a ball. And this was fun, too, but the power went out. And the sound guy couldn't get there because there was a wreck on the highway coming in.
Oh, okay.
And James was very concerned he couldn't be heard, and that spawned several stories. But is there another one I'm forgetting about?
Yeah. So there was the concert, which was a disaster. There was a power issue there too. You remember that?
What the power's always going off. What's happening up there?
We had y'all had a guy for Mr. Lucky that went ahead, the forward guy, to make sure that the power was good and everything. Right. Well, anyway. That never
The
happened.
roadies.
Yeah, and that never happened. And anyway, it was a disaster all day. Y'all showed up and everything was fine, but what you didn't realize is y'all were playing with there was a circus going on the back part of where your concert hall, and he took a hot wire from a generator and plugged it into y'all's power. And he said, as long as lightning or something doesn't happen, it will totally electrocute them on the stage.
And there was a storm.
There was no ground. Yeah, there was no ground wire on, I guess is what I'm saying. But the other time, there was a gas station with a Sneaky Pete's or something. And y'all had something going with Sneaky Pete's, and I was the guy.
Yeah.
Y'all were there already, and somebody, one of you two, had called me and said, "Hey, where are you at?" And I said, "Hey, I'm here, man. I'm already here." And I was riding past the building at the time.
Right.
So y'all been there 2 or 3 times, yeah, for sure. And of course, you're going to be there for the grand opening at the end of August of I'm
going to try to get up there for that. I'm excited for you.
It's going to be fun.
And
it's going to be a good time.
WCRL, all Bubba, all the time. That's
right.
just got a good ring to it.
It does.
I need to start doing voice track
Drops.
work. Yeah, biscuit tracks. We used to joke about that. So, city council, you're in politics. Have you thought about anything further up the chain?
Nah, I think after this term, I'm probably just gonna. We've got a farm up in Sneed, a Brangus farm that we're trying to get into the cows and things of that nature.
So, what you're going to be a cattle farmer too?
We're going to dabble in it.
I got a neighbor dabbling in it right now.
Yeah, it's an expensive dabble. I'll be honest with you, and I don't know much about it.
Tom's about 80, and he's decided he wants to be a cattle farmer.
Yeah, I mean, I've watched too much of that. Whatever that show is about that guy out in Texas.
Yeah. I know which one you're talking about.
I forget what it's called, but yeah, I mean, it's, these Brangus cattle, they're like the genetics. You buy them for the genetics, and they're the top 1% in the world.
Right.
And anyway, I've got about 12.
Making me hungry for a steak.
I know. I got about 12 Brangus that I've got about $150,000 in. And
so you go take care of them, feed them, and all that.
I did that this morning before I came here. That's why I'm wearing what I'm wearing right now. But
I started to say you dress for the lake.
That's right.
This is what I've got on to compare. I mean, this is what you wear to funerals. This is a suit at the lake.
Right,
It's short. I'm wearing shorts and a a habit shirt.
Yeah. I don't go many places without my flip flops on nowadays. But
yeah,
I don't think I'm going to go any further in politics. I think I'm just going to serve my community there, and then maybe my wife will retire in the next year and a half, and maybe I'm trying to do a handshake with my kids. You know what I mean, for them to take over some stuff. And
do they have it? Do they have the magic of
my
Robbie from Robbie?
My youngest one does. He's working for me now. He's on a mission trip in Honduras or somewhere like that, some country. I don't know. And
you do travel a lot, I've noticed.
Well, yeah, I mean, I do, but I mean, he's on a mission trip, so that's
right.
But
hopefully a higher calling.
Yeah, hopefully a higher. But my youngest one will do good in the business. He works for me now. My middle one's a fireman in Pell City.
Yeah,
and my oldest one works for the NBC affiliate down in Montgomery.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Channel 12.
What's their call letters? I know them by their call letters.
WSFA.
Yeah, SFA.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, it's a monster.
Yeah,
it's a killer.
Yeah, and he's
Tino Rosie
Logano.
Yeah.
Logano.
Yeah, you're close enough. I can't
Logano.
say her
Is it
last name.
Logano?
It's something like that. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah,
we've had her on the podcast.
Oh,
She's
really?
really funny. She was sports. Now she's doing news.
Yeah. She freaked everybody out when she put that Facebook post in. It's just she's leaving.
Oh, listen, I have a bunch of old ham radio buddies that are down in the Montgomery market, and I go down to eat with them every now and then. And I casually mentioned that I knew Rosie.
Yeah.
And I'm rock star status. They have begged me to bring her to lunch. I just begged me. And I said, I bet. I
bet. She recently married a football coach, high school football coach?
Yeah, he does. He's a high school football coach.
Yeah, cool. That's awesome. Yeah, she knows all about sports. I know.
Oh
that.
yeah, she's a real deal. She's a sweet girl.
I
too.
keep thinking ESPN or somebody's going to pick her up and take her out of market.
Well, we've had several young ladies in sports from this area that have really gone on and made a big hit lately. We had one that we hired at Jack State who was doing stuff in Birmingham. She's been picked up by the New York bunch. What's the name? Barstool.
Oh, Barstool.
And she's
Sports.
doing stuff for them now.
Yeah. I don't really know exactly what they do, but they're hiring a lot of talented kids off social media. I know that.
Yeah. Well, they're that part of that new media, online stuff. So, on from your political career, and by the way, we've listed quite a resume here for you, Robbie.
I don't know if anybody cares about this. This is going to be the least listened to podcast of all time.
No, I do think it's interesting because it's the American dream. You know, you're out there moving and shaking, and I love it. So now you have bought a motorcycle dealership that you're starting. It's a franchise. It's not there already. You're going to have to build it.
Yeah. So I've started a motorcycle. It's just a little motorcycle company. It's called Moto Shed Alabama, and I'm just. I mean, literally, this is just something. I've been a motorcycle enthusiast my whole life, and I've got into riding in a group of people, and you know, there's less and less people riding motorcycles nowadays.
Are you in like a biker gang? You got the leather vest on with the logo and all that?
No.
I see them groups all the time.
I rode with one of those groups about 3 weeks ago for a Sheriff Mark Moon.
Yeah.
Does one every year, and I did my first one that I ever did, and scared me to death. I mean, those guys are
on a motorcycle scary because I mean you don't have any protection.
There are 100 people packed in there tight doing this right. You know, they're going 60 miles an hour down the road.
Cars are what would scare me.
Yeah,
and everybody texting and all that.
Yeah, it's more dangerous now than what it was a long time ago. But I started this little motorcycle company and or dealerships, basically what it is, and we carry Benelli, which is, you might know them from the guns.
Yeah,
you know,
yes, it's the same bunch.
Same bunch.
They make great shotguns.
Yeah, they make a good motorcycle, and we just
no kick, man. With that.
Got
that counterweight.
They'll set you back a little bit.
Sure, well, they're good.
They're
That's
good guns.
They're
yeah.
good stuff.
But
I can't believe they make guns and motorcycles.
Yeah.
That's a strange combination. You don't think they would have that down the hall. You know?
The Benelli family out of Italy sold both of those companies in 2005. The gun manufacturer and the motorcycle manufacturer, and they're all manufactured in different places now. But they kind of split those two apart. But the motorcycles are still around. Certainly the guns are. And we just picked up Birmingham. BSA Motorcycles, which stands for Birmingham Small Arms, and it's out of the Birmingham, England. And they've been making motorcycles since 1915, and they're a big brand. You've heard of BSA?
Yeah,
maybe?
yeah.
So anyway, our first shipment of those will be in sometime in August, and we're just, we're not trying to carry Harleys or Hondas or Yamahas. We're trying to carry some unique stuff. Benelli's very unique. BSA, the first shipment ever into America is going to be here, around the middle of August, and we're going to have some side by sides and four wheelers and stuff.
That's a big investment for you, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean that's a lot of weight.
I mean it is. I mean, but I've set myself up in everything.
Can't hide money. I mean,
no, it ain't that at all. Trust me. You just got to have good credit. You can't. There's much
floor plan, baby.
Listen, 800 Beacon will take you a long way, and that's only because I'm married to somebody in the law business. But
does she do all your legal stuff?
No.
I bet you got quite a few LLCs floating around out there, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Anything that might require legal, she's not allowed to know about.
You got to keep it isolated.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But yeah, the motorcycle thing is something that I hope to coast off into. You know what I mean? And the media business and stuff like that. I'm going to hopefully hand some of that off to my kids and stay involved to the extent that they need me to. And then, I'm talking about over the next 5 years or so. And then, just kind of rest a little bit and enjoy the motorcycles and hanging around those type people. And that's just a good, relaxing life. You know what I mean?
How much do you get to ride, and what do you have now?
I drive an Indian Scout 1250. It's a fine bike. I'm only 5'7", so seat height's like 28 inches. I mean,
so you're not talking about a girl's bike or something?
No.
Okay. Just want to be sure.
Oh yeah, it's nice. It's a nice and very fast bike. But
Meg would have been mad if I hadn't asked you.
But yeah, it's a good bike. I mean, you ask a Harley person, they say, "Oh yeah, it's a girl's bike."
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But Indian and Harley are always going back and forth. But no, it's a fine bike. And I've got 14 motorcycles. So I mean, I've got a Harley. I've got a.
So where's your dealership going to be at?
So Oneonta, I tried like heck to be in the city limits of Oneonta, but I mean, I'm telling you, our land and everything, it's the hottest place in the state of Alabama right now.
It's a beautiful place too. The mountains there just.
So my sister.
I mean, you really got me thinking about this WCRL thing.
Yeah, all Bubba, all the time.
All Bubba.
Right down the road from Oneonta, about 3 miles outside of town, my sister owns it's a 3-car garage, and that's where the first moto shed's going to be. So
you got to grow it.
We got pavement being poured tomorrow.
Oh,
we have sheetrock going in on Thursday, and we got inspections from all these brands I mentioned next Thursday. So I got to make something happen.
Man, you running hot.
Yeah. When I leave here, I'm going back home to pick up construction trash and put it in the dumpster so the pavers can pave tomorrow, put pavement. But
so how many people we have working there initially? Do you do repair work too?
I don't have that set up yet, so I'm gonna have to build that portion because that's a requirement. But I've got agreements with other dealers that's going to do my oil changes and repairs initially. So, but now it's just me and David Bagley, who is Brenda Bagley's husband, owns Bagley Media Group. He's helping some. I've got one of my kids, of course, and just whoever else wants to help.
Well, I mean, your kids, they could follow your footsteps in any number of businesses. I mean, from media to motorcycles to radio.
Yeah, I mean, we have a good time.
Ad agency.
I mean, it's not for everybody. I think it's really funny if your kids grow up seeing you deal with stress and all the things that's associated with the media business. They normally don't want anything to do with the media business, or
because there's some headaches. There's some headaches.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not exclusive to the media business. I mean, whatever they see you grow up in, or whatever you're involved in as they grow up, they usually don't want to be a part of it, not unless it's something super cool, And the motorcycle thing is, I can see that my kids want to be involved in that, and that'd be nice. You know what I mean? That would be nice.
Well, if you want to give one away on the podcast here,
I will. I'll give one away. I'll give one away. Coming up, what should
we'll have a big promotion?
We'll have a big promotion. Probably when I get my watercraft contract in, maybe we can give away a watercraft since it's Bubba on the lake.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Yeah, well, that's what we'll do. We'll give away a watercraft. We'll do that next summer.
So what's next for Robbie?
I don't know.
Robbie McAlpine, our guest, by the way, former Robbie from Roebuck. Mover and shaker extraordinaire.
Probably bankruptcy, Bubba. I really
you hadn't tried it.
Hadn't tried bankruptcy.
Everybody
yet.
ought to try it once.
Exactly. No, I don't know. I think hopefully this is it. You know what I mean? I'm kind of on the not on the down spiral, but I mean I'm just.
How old are you now?
I'm 53. I just turned 53 in June.
You're an old man.
Yeah, I am. How old are you, Bubba? I keep
62.
62. Full 9 years ahead of me.
Age-wise, I'm not that bad. Mileage-wise, I'm real bad. I've been rode like a taxi most of my life. So, in work years and stress, I'm probably 76.
Yeah, I'm right
Which
there with you.
is the life expectancy in our state for a male.
Yeah.
So, who knows?
Listen.
I'm trying to hang on.
Well, you're doing fine. Just get a little exercise and walk up and down your driveway once a day. You'll be fine forever.
How about that driveway?
Oh, my gosh.
Hey, you got to be serious if you're going to deal with that.
That scared me to death coming down that
It's
thing.
religious. You got to have faith. I tell people, because you go over the hump, and
you don't know where you're going.
see is the roof of the house, and you just hope there's something there when you come
If
back.
I wouldn't have had a camera on the front of mine, because I missed your driveway, and I put it in reverse, and the front end camera stayed on when I put it in drive, that helped me down the driveway, I probably would have parked at the top and rolled down.
Well, a lot of people do, but the walk back up, it's a loser.
Yeah. On the way in, I stopped at the guard shack down there because, there's armed officers down there. You can't just walk in here. And I was asking about, though I saw an empty lot, and I was asking about putting the double wide up here, and they didn't seem like they were interested.
They didn't get the joke, did they?
No, they didn't. I was like, hey, I was just here looking at a place to put my double wide, and they said, you need to go out that way, sir. And I was like,
well, they run into all kind out there. No, they're usually pretty funny. They usually have a good time, visit with everybody. You're wondering you didn't get through there, and they didn't talk to you for 5-10 minutes. They like to talk.
Well, I thought the prostate exam was a little excessive.
Right.
But
you're a first time member. They wanted to be thorough.
Yes, but no, they're great folks out there. And what a beautiful place. I mean, I just can't believe. I know I've been distracted most of this podcast, but I'm sitting here looking out this window, and all I see is Auburn's former basketball coach out there in a thong, and I'm like, "What is he doing out there, Bubba? What is he doing?" No,
he's probably getting a tan.
He's probably getting a tan, but you got a beautiful place here, and it's so impressive, man. I tell you. I'll look forward to your future invitations to cookouts. I mean,
absolutely, anytime. And so we may try to make it up for the motorcycle grand opening.
I wished you would. It'd be fun. It'd be fun. We could have has Bubba on the Lake done a remote?
No, not per se. We're really not set up to. I've toyed with that, and maybe you tell me.
Well, I've got two radio stations that cover Central Alabama. You could be live on that day, Bubba on the Lake live.
It's hard to. If you cover it with a podcast, because we tape ahead of time, the event's over by the time you hear it, so it doesn't have the same punch to get people out.
Yeah.
But I would like to be able to do more. I'd like to be able to do video and some things, but it adds some complexity that we're not quite ready to deal with, but maybe first of the year. We'll see.
Yeah, well, that'd be awesome. That'd be
Yeah,
wonderful.
we could go live on the radio station.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to have a couple radio stations there, so I'll talk to the owner and see if he minds a podcast talent coming on.
WCRL, all Bubba, all the time. Boy, that's got a good ring to it.
It sure does, man. I'm telling you. Listen, you're gonna have to open up another bank account, put all the money in there.
No, I don't know about that. Look, I'm just, and I've told people this. I think mentally, I'm at the age where, and we've had people that want to, be a part of this, and they want me to do 2 hours a day and all that kind of, and I said, I just don't think I got that much time because I'm still working at Jack State and enjoying some of that. And, I just, I really, it's not about the money as much as it is about the fun. I just want to have fun because I mean, none of us is promised tomorrow, Robbie, And I think that even has been amplified lately. I lost a good friend that we went through all of school together, played sports together. And he was always the greatest athlete. I did a podcast on him not too long ago, Richie Johnson. But I mean, if you would have saw Richie when we were growing up, you go, well, that guy's going to live to be 100, because he's such a good athlete, just a beast could play every sport and played in college and all this. And he passed away at 62.
Wow.
And so nobody's got tomorrow promised, brother. We got to have fun,
Yeah.
Do what we're here to do. And I know you're doing that through your businesses, and you've touched a lot of lives. And a lot of it we won't go into, but you've made a difference in a lot of people's lives, I know.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. I don't know if it's true or not, but it feels good to hear it.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I think so. Robbie McAlpine has been our guest, and like I say, give us that dealership name again, Robbie.
It's going to be
Aniana.
Yeah. So
Aniana, Alabama.
Yeah, it's going to be called Moto Shed, Alabama.
Moto Shed.
Yeah, and yeah. So
they got a good ad agency.
They were looking to hire one. I've got a $200 a month budget for anybody that wants it. Maybe I can get Lee Moore to take it. You know what? We should do a prank call to Lee Moore one day and say, "Yeah, this is Robbie McAlpine with Moto Shed. I got $200 a month that's burning a hole in my pocket."
I doubt he'd even take our call.
No, he wouldn't. He's down there enjoying life.
Oh, good for him.
Thanks for having me, Bubba. I really appreciate it.
Robbie, thank you for coming by the Mellow Yellow studio. It has been a blast reliving some of these past memories and talking about the future. And look, that WCRL thing, you got me thinking over here, Robbie.
Email Bubba and tell him to buy WCRL.
A proud member of the Gamecock Sports Network. We need to add that too. All right, we'll be right back in just a minute. Thank you, Robbie. Enjoyed it, and we'll be right back.
You're listening to Bubba. Whoa. Bubba on the Lake.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
On the water or off, experience lake life to the fullest at Russell Lands on Lake Martin. If you love the outdoors, then Naturalist Marianne's classroom is where you need to be. She brings the outdoors to you at Russell Crossroads. Or you can see Lake Martin and thousands of acres of undisturbed forest taking a guided horseback trail ride through the stables. If you're here for a weekend or you've made your home at the lake, Russell Lands is where community and the land come together. To learn more about upcoming events, visit russelllands.com. Come see what lake life is all about.
Since 1965, Bice Motors has been Lake Martin area's home for Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram sales and service. For 60 years, families have trusted Bice Motors in Alexander City for honest deals, friendly service, and the best selection around. Our team of certified technicians services most all makes and models. Plus, we've got a tire center, parts department, and a full collision center to keep you rolling. Bice Motors, your hometown Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram dealer since 1965. In Alex City or online at bicemotors.com.
Buy it at Bice. Bice Motors.
Well, there you have it. We're back, and hope you enjoyed our sit down with Robbie McAlpine. As I mentioned earlier, Robbie's afraid that it sounded like he was bragging about everything, but I didn't really see it that way. I just thought it was an amazing testimony to what is available in America even today. The opportunity that's out there, if you get out there and you're a mover and shaker and make it happen, there's all kind of possibilities, and Robbie has certainly been a success story in that respect. So I appreciate him. He's been a friend a long time, and we've worked together, and it was good to see him. Appreciate him making the journey here to the Mellow Yellow studio and spending a little time with us. We enjoyed that. I hope him and his wife will get to come back and get to spend a little time on the boat. We got to get out on the water a little bit. So, folks, we'll probably wrap it up right there. Our last podcast was a little long, so we may tie a knot on it right there. But we want to remind everybody about our website, bubbaonthelake.com. That's where you can get all the information you need. And, you know, we've got some merchandise there on the website. Our other podcast, the Tailgate Show, that's going to be kicking off here in August, and we're excited about that. We had a real good time doing that last year, and I know it's going to be a lot of fun this year. Hunter will be joining me on that, as well as Nathan Hall will be back, and we had so much fun talking about college football, and we're going to try to do that again and maybe throw a few more wrinkles in there this year. So, but I appreciate all of you listening to the podcast. I've got several emails this week and text about the podcast, and people who are still just finding it for the first time. So we appreciate that. This will be number 66. So there's a few to catch up on if you're new to the podcast for sure. So let me remind you, don't forget to subscribe, turn on notifications. We don't want you to miss anything from the show. Also follow us on social media for updates, and we've always got new things coming out that we'll let you know right there. So we'll tie a bow on it this week, folks. Thank you for being a part of this, and as always, we thank you. We ask that you support our sponsors when you need them, and let them know you appreciate them being a sponsor other times. So until we tie up on the dock again, remember, God loves you, and so do we. And thank you for being part of Bubba on the Lake.
It's Bubba on the Lake. Bubba on the Lake.
Dr. Dudney has been my dentist for about 20 years. He does a great job taking care of my teeth, making sure my cavities are good, cleaning my teeth, and also adding veneers to my smile, which was a game changer. Now, Dr. Dudney and his friendly staff can do the same for you. I ask you to give them a chance. Just talk to them, no cost. Just make an appointment, see what you need, see if you can have a better smile and feel better about yourself today. Give them a call at 205-663-6545 or tedudney.com.
You know one thing I love about Buffalo Wild Wings? You can get wings with any of their 26 sauces and dry rubs for takeout and delivery. That's like bringing an entire B-dubs home with you, which you can't do. I tried. I've knocked down so many walls, only to then be told to halt construction because I'm not zoned to be a sports bar. Kind of just looks like a big pergola or something because of the lack of walls. At least these 26 sauces and dry rubs are available to go. Buffalo Wild Wings. Let's go sports bar.
On the water or off, experience lake life to the fullest at Russell Lands on Lake Martin. Grab a latte at Brew 63, linger over lunch at Fanny's, or take in a Lake Martin sunset at Kalijah Restaurant. Whether you're here for the weekend or you've made your home at the lake, Russell Lands is where community and the land come together. To learn more about upcoming events, visit russelllands.com. Come see what lake life is all about.
This podcast is brought to you in part by Russell Lands, Coke, Buffalo Wild Wings, Central State Bank, Dr. Thomas Dudney, Sunrise Docks, Bice Motors, the Green Monster Fishing Lights.
B-U-double-B-A on the lake, hey, wishing I could listen to the show every day, hey, gotta hear what Bubba and his buddies gotta say on B-U-double-B-A on the lake, in the Mellow Yellow studio, putting on a show. Betty say, what? She always on the go. We got Hunter Bus sitting at master control. Don't wanna miss a moment, cause Bubba's got the flow. B-U-double-B-A on the lake. Hey, wishing I could listen to the show every day. Hey, gotta hear what Bubba and his buddies gotta say on B-U-double-B-A on the lake. Hey, B-U-double-B-A. Hey, B-U-double-B-A. Hey, B-U-double-B-A. Hey, B-U-double-B-A on the lake. Hey.